Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and Mark Rosewater is back with his Joker-esque tricks. And this time he's got some riddles for us, specifically some trivia questions about legendary creatures, and the first one references Alpha. That's as far as I read before I thought, let's make a train wreck of a video involving this. So I think instead of calling this the Mark Rosewater Legendary Creature Trivia Challenge, I'm just going to call it Des Doesn't Know the Lore, the game show. And a lot of people have been saying I should make a stupid trivia game show, dumb contest thing and bring in a bunch of other MTG creators. If I brought in the Magic Historian on this one, what kind of chance do you think I'd have? But hey, feel free to play along at home because that's always fun. So question number 1. In Alpha, there were 8 proper names of characters in card titles. How many of those characters have a legendary creature or planeswalker card made of them? And I assume he means eventually, not in that set. So we've got, A, 5, B, 6, C, 7, and D, 8. So it's somewhere in that range, which is where I would have guessed it. I'm not going to embarrass myself and try and guess them all, because I know Baron Sengir is probably in there. Sarah's probably in there. I don't think Nicol Bolas was there yet. I mean, theoretically, I think Alpha, did it even take place on a plane? Was it Chandalar or Homelands or something? Was Homelands even the name of a plane? I don't think it's a very high number. I'm going to go with either 5 or 6, but it's like, would he have made it 5 and then put 6, 7, and 8? People like to bury the number right in the middle. Yes, I'm metagaming the hell out of this. I'm going to go with 6. I'm going to go with B. Boy, you missed one, you get it wrong. Harsh. So number 2, Legends, the set to introduce legendary creatures, although they were creature-type legend at the time. It literally said summon legend, by the way. Had 55 legendary creatures in it. Holy cow, I didn't know that. How many of those legendary creatures have had one or more other legendary creatures or planeswalkers printed of them? I would have said 25, but the answers are 5, 6, 7, or 8. I guess we're going with 8 then? Oh, this is just a treat already. All right. Of the same 55 legendary creatures from Legends, how many have we used to inspire new legendary creatures that are connected to those characters without actually being those characters? Are you kidding me, Mark? Half the staff members don't even know. You know what? I'm rolling a D4. All right. I'm very confident that the answer is B, 5. Okay, this one's a little easier maybe, although I doubt I know it. It's, what legendary creature was called Good Buddy in design? Was it Chandler, Hoven, or Jovan, or really, he doesn't look Latino. I have no idea. Kesa, or Lord of Tressorhorn? I'm going to go with Chandler. I'm just kind of getting that vibe from the artwork, so that would be A. And I guess we're backing up to question 4, because I just realized I skipped it. Oopsies. How many legendary creatures have or grant banding? None, 1, 2, or 3. I think it's a trick question and that banding predates legendary, so I'm going to say A, none, but I'm not 100% sure, which should not surprise you at this point. So skipping to number 6, we've got what legendary creature was designed as a combination of 2 running inside jokes about a wizard's employee? I might have this one. All right, we've got Aeron the Restless, Hakeem Loreweaver, Feldegriff, which is a flying pink hippo, or Shaku Endbringer. Aaron or whatever, it's spelled with an E, that would have to be Aaron Forsyth, and I could find about 6 references on the card to him, but I don't think he worked there when that card came out. So I'm thinking, Loreweaver plus Hakeem kind of looks like somebody who would work there. I'm going to go with Hakeem. I'm kind of mad that I didn't know this off the top of my head, though, because it's the kind of thing I would have heard. Next up, which legendary creature from Mirage had to have its name shortened because its original name didn't fit on the card? Oh, awesome. Oh, it's another one I should know, but I don't. It's Asmiri Holy Avenger, Spirit of the Night, Ziralan of the Claw, or Zubiri Golden Feather. It has to be one of the last 2. Those just scream that words were cut out. Zubiri Golden Feather doesn't make sense. It's a griffin. So, it isn't a feather. It would, have a feather. So it should be more words. But then Ziralan of the Claw... they show a kobold. There is a group of kobolds called the Claw, but other than that, if it's a different reference, it would be specifically what claw, like the Golden Claw or something. I'm going to say the most likely logically would be Zubiri Golden Feather because it doesn't make sense. Next up, what legendary creature from Tempest was a nod to the set's codename? I have no idea. I don't even remember the codenames from 3 years ago. So we've got Eladamri, Lord of Leaves, Orim, Samite Healer, Selenia, Dark Angel, and Vati Ildal, I mean, I know the types of words that they choose for code names these days, but I don't think that was necessarily the pattern for Tempest. I guess I'll just blindly go for Selenia Dark Angel because that sounds like something that might resemble a word they would assign to be a Tempest word. Next up, question number 9. What Weatherlight crew member's legendary card was designed to match the effect of their Vanguard card? Ooh, I might get this one too. Okay, I've seen a lot of them. Okay, Krovax the Cursed, Urtai Wizard Adept, Karn Silver Golem, it's almost definitely that one, or Miri Cat Warrior. Yeah, it's Karn. I don't even need to read the rest. I'm very sure that Karn was on a Vanguard card, and I'm very sure that he did something about animating artifacts. I'm going to be kind of mad if I got that wrong. Question number 10. Prophecy had a cycle of rare legendary creatures, which were spell shapers. Which one of them was a character that played a major role in the Mirage story? Oh my gosh, I might as well just throw a dart at the screen. We've got Alexi, Zephyr Mage, Griel, Mindraker, Jolrael, Empress of Beasts, or Majida the Lion. I'm going to go with Alexi Zephyr Mage because wizards make more interesting characters, so it's most likely to be her. Next up, this one's interesting. Blind Seer, a legendary creature from Invasion, was who in disguise? Was it Baron, Urtai, Urza, or Volrath? I really should know this. I've heard the story. I'm going to say Volrath, but I'm not 100% sure. Next up, which legendary creature from Odyssey used art that was commissioned for a completely different product? We've got Aboshan, Celiphat Emperor, Atagatog, Braids Cabal Minion, or Cetan Croson Prospector. Boy, the art looks drastically different on all four, but they didn't really have style consistency any more than they do these days. It's probably not Braids because her artwork has a different, interesting, funny story, and I think that's like a red herring. Basically, like, her card art made her be a character in the story, or like in the book or whatever, because it looks so crazy good, or something like that. Either that or that is the answer, and they moved her to this set because she looks so good and was supposed to be in a different one. I don't remember. But I mean, Cabal Minion, oh man, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Tagatog because it just seems the most out there. Next up, what card from the Onslaught block had cycling in design, but I guess didn't make it there because they're showing the cards on screen? Achroma, Angel of Wrath, Blade Wing the Risen, Ixidor Reality Sculptor, or Sliver Overlord? Well, they're all high cost, so that's not a dead giveaway. Really, all of them you wouldn't want to have in your opening hand. I kind of doubt that it would be Sliver Overlord. I just can't see somebody dumping that. It's the kind of card you would hold. I'm going to go with Blade Wing. Because he's got that, like, the temporary Lord boost ability. I should just call it a tribal boost. It's not a Lord's ability at all. All right, moving on. It'll be a miracle if I get one of these right. Which legendary creature was the main character in the book, The Moons of Mirrodin? Bosch Iron Golem, Glissa Sunseeker, Memnarch, or Slowbad Goblin Tinkerer? I'm pretty sure it's Memnarch. He, like, landed on Mirrodin and did a thing, so... pretty sure of that. It very well could be Glissa, though. Oh, boy. Next up, which legendary creature's design from Champions of Kamigawa was made in a meeting to prove a point? How would I possibly know this if I hadn't heard it? So we've got Azami, Lady of Scrolls, Brothers Yamazaki, Iname, Death Aspect, or Isamaru, Hound of Konda. A legendary 2-2 for 1. See, that would have been my guess, but like, what point would you be proving? Oh, look, I made a 2-2 for 1. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to game balance. Like, what would that be? What was the point there? The Brothers card has Bushido. So, I mean, okay. I don't know what point Iname would prove. It seems like a pretty mundane card. And then, I mean, Azami is just tap an untapped wizard you control, draw a card. Like, what's the point there? I'm going to say Brothers. I think Bushido 1 might have been the thing. I mean, I don't know. You don't really prove a point by creating an entire mechanic, but it's very specific in the other references on the card, so that has to be it. Next up, discounting any descriptor, the Firemind and Queen of Golgari, for example, which of these legendary creatures from the original Ravnica had a name or partial name that's a real English word? Wait, they mean like before they renamed it? I don't even understand the question. Or do they mean on any one of the printings? Or I don't know. I don't get this at all. Okay, I think they mean the proper noun that they ended up naming, like literally the name of the character, which one was based on wholly or partially a real word, not counting the qualifiers after it. I think that's what they're trying to say. So we've got Borborygmos, which, if anything, that would be Greek. Niv Mizzet, I don't know. Savra, you got me. And Tibor and Lumia, which both are Latin, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's the Nokia Lumia, and I assume it's supposed to be really obvious, like, the bad guy from Rainbow Bright, Murky Dismal. Oh, I wonder if he's going to be murky and dismal, like, they like made the word that on purpose, but I don't know. None of these stand out to me. I know Tibor is really close to a lot of English words, and that's not it. Lumia, I mean, whether it's considered English or not is debatable. I might have to go with that one. Borborygmos, I mean, Borbor, wasn't that the name of like an elephant in like the Disney cartoons? I actually Googled it. Yes, I'm cheating. It was Babar, and it's from a book. But yeah, Borborygmos would either be Latin or Greek. That just sounds extremely that way. Niv Mizzet, what could that possibly mean? I don't know. It sounds British, but they didn't say like Old English. I mean, they said partial name, and Savra sounds like it would fit with the most of them, but I don't know. You know what? I hate this question. I'm going with Savra. So next up, which of these legendary creatures from Time Spiral appeared first chronologically in flavor text? I don't know or care. We've got Endrek Sar, Master Breeder, Jaya Ballard, Task Mage, it's almost definitely that one, Norin the Wary, or Safri Eric's daughter. You know, that sounds so Homelandsy, and then Norin, I mean, I have no idea, never heard of him. But yeah, we're going with Jaya. I mean, that's like old school, like Teferi and Jaya. Like, I mean, that goes back at least a ways in the lore, but it kind of concerns me that I've never heard of Safri or Norin. I'm pretty sure Endrek is like way forward in the lore. But then again, I'm talking about like him in the storyline. They could have put him in some flavor text somewhere, but no, we're going with Jaya. All right, 18. Doran the Siege Tower is part of a cycle in Lorwyn. How many cards are in this cycle? Is this a trick question? There's usually 5. So the answers are 3, 5, 6, or 8. And it's a 3-color card, and it's a legendary creature Treefolk Shaman. I think I know who at least one of the other Treefolks are. And they did say the cycle was in Lorwyn, so they couldn't have added to it later. So he wouldn't have asked this question if it was 5. That's way too simple. So, Lorwyn. I don't know anything about Lorwyn. I don't know like the mana combinations or anything. I thought like one tribe was destroyed, so that would make it like 9. I might be mixing it up with like Tarkir though. Oh, this is rough. It's either 3 or 8. I don't think it's 6. 6 would be weird. Although usually 5 color combinations plus 1 colorless would be right, but colorless for a Treefolk Shaman, that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to say all the Treefolk Shaman probably had to share green, so I'm going to say 3. I'm going to logic my way through this if it kills me. Next up, which legendary creature from the original Zendikar block had the most other cards with their name in the title? Oh, this is going to be interesting. You might think this is going to be easy, but wait till I read the options. Drana, Kalastaya Bloodchief, Obnixilis the Fallen, Omnath, Locus of Mana, or Ulamog the Infinite Gyre. Drana's on at least 3, Ob's on at least 3, probably 4, Omnath's on at least 4, and Ulamog is on at least 3. I'm going to say Drana. I mean, Drana has so many subordinates, and like Drana's this, Drana's that. It has to be like 5 or 6, so I'm going with your girl Drana. Next up, we've got which legendary creature from Scars of Mirrodin was referenced in flavor text on cards in original Mirrodin. Oh my god. Kemba, Ka Regent, Geth, Lord of the Vault, Azuri, Renegade Leader, or Thrun, the Last Troll. I'm going to say Geth because I don't think he showed up until later in the storyline. Next up, which of the following legendary creatures from Commander 2011 edition lives on the plane of Muraganda? Where is that? Wakanda? What the hell? Animar Soul of Elements, Gave Guru of Spores, the Mimeoplasm, or Skullbriar the Walking Grave. I was hoping I could eliminate some of them by knowing what plane they're from, but that is not the case. The background art all just looks like DBZ pretty much, so that doesn't help. You know, for Mimeoplasm, those kind of look like Hedrons in the background. Either that or at least like floating Skyclave chunks or something, so I don't think that's it. I mean, Saproling, Spores, that's usually on planes that we've heard of more recently, so I don't think it's Gave. Animar I thought was Zendikar. Oh man, Skullbriar though sounds so Ravnica, so... Oh man, it probably is the Mimeoplasm because I'm only going off of the art. Oh, I can't go with Skullbriar. I'm going to go with the Mimeoplasm. Next up, which of the legendary creatures from Innistrad won the rare poll, an internal polling where Wizards employees rank the cards with the name of the trope we wanted the card to hit as its title, which led some to question the ranking because we weren't actually going to call it that. What? Well, see, he didn't specify if they ended up with that name, because the options are Mikaeus the Lunarch, Geist of St. Traft, Grimgrin Corpseborn, and Olivia Volderan. Like, it wouldn't be Olivia Volderan, because how is that the name of a trope that they wanted to hit? That's literally just a first and last name. But I mean, a trope could be anything. It could be naming vampires funny British-sounding Old English names, like Volderan. But I mean, Innistrad, Grimgrin Corpseborn, But then Mikaeus Lunarch, the trope could have been Lunarchs exist, but that's kind of weak. And then, I mean, a Geist of St. Traft, But they could be implying that none of those names matter. They gave it a temporary name and just named it after the trope. But then he said they weren't going to actually call it that, but then it won best ranking with that name, so he's implying that they did end up naming it that, which means it's probably the most generic sounding one, which would be Geist of St. Traft, which means they just never named him. Well, except that it's the Geist of specifically St. Traft. I mean, what else are you going to call it? Mikaeus, though, like, that's a proper noun. Olivia, that's a proper noun. Grimgrin, that's a proper noun. I don't know. This is such a weird question. It doesn't give enough information. So I guess I'll go with Geist of St. Traft because it kind of makes the most sense. Nah, screw it. That's still a proper noun. I'm going to go with Grimgrin Corpseborn and I don't know, assume that makes sense somehow. Next up, which legendary creature from Magic 2013 is from the plane of Chandalar? I better get this. I played Chandalar when it was an old school video game. Okay, I played it like 2 years ago, but still. We got Krenko Mob Boss. Not sure. Odric Master Technician. Oh my god, Odric. Master Tactician. He's from Innistrad. My god, it's on his sword. Talrand Sky Summoner. Or Yeva Nature's Herald, an elf shaman. We got a merfolk wizard and a goblin warrior. I can't name where Krenko is from, plain-wise. And that might just be me, but the flavor text heavily implies, thank god they're showing me the card, that he's from Ravnica. Oh, and I think a Krenko was just printed last time we went to Ravnica, so Odric's from Innistrad. It's down to 2. Now, see, I would say, well, they can move planes, except, no, they can't. I mean, pre-mending, yes. A lot of people escaped Chandalar, but a lot of people didn't. That's kind of the point. It's a rogue plane. It's really hard to travel to and from. I mean, I know some of the lore. If I've got it down to 2 and I get this wrong, I'm going to be so pissed. So, like, elves are everywhere. I'm pretty sure elves were on Chandalar. Merfolk, I'm not quite as sure. And I think Talrand is from Theros. But we went to Theros for the first time really recently, and I think Talrand was on older cards. Oh, I'm never going to get this. I'm going to say Yeva Nature's Herald, but boy, if it's Talrand, dude. Yes, I can hear you who know the answer screaming at your screen. It's not helping. I can't hear you. Next up, question 24. Which of the following legendary creatures from Return to Ravnica, thank God I actually started playing the game when that came out, was one of the images that appeared on a booster pack? I am 99% sure I know this. Isperia Supreme Judge, a.k.a. my commander, Jared, or I don't know, who knows, Golgari Lichlord, or the correct answer, Niv-Mizzet Dracogenius, or Rakdos Lord of Riots. I hope I'm not getting confused, but I'm very sure Niv-Mizzet was on one of the booster packs. I feel like Isperia was too, though. That's the problem. That specific imagery of Rakdos, I don't think so, and Jared, I doubt it. I mean, I absolutely know that in Return to Ravnica, Jace and Niv-Mizzet were on the box. The question is, did they make it to the booster packs? And I may be way off here. I'm going to be pissed if I am. Because this is as close to actually knowing an answer as I'm going to get. I got to go with my gut. It was Niv-Mizzet. It had to have been Niv-Mizzet. Number 25. Which of the Therosian gods are twins? Ooh, I should know this. I really should know this. Athreos and Phenax. I doubt it. Afara and Karametra. Not sure. Iroas and Mogus. Oh boy. Or Keranos and Farika. I thought it would be more obvious than this. Pretty sure Iroas is a centaur. Pretty sure Mogus is a minotaur. So that seems unlikely, but I mean, who knows? Well, Keranos is male and Farika or Farika or whatever is female, so that would have to be fraternal twins, I believe. But, you know, hey, whatever. Also, like, one's a snake and one's, I don't even remember. Boy, Afara and Karametra really kind of look similar, I think. They both wearing like robes or something, right? And then Athreos and Fennex are like big scary wizard types, if I remember correctly. So one of them stood out in my mind as being a twin, and then he was like double crossed or something, I thought, and I think it was Athreos. So I'm going to go with Athreos and Fennex. So 26, I guess we're almost at the bottom here. Which mechanic of Dragons of Tarkir doesn't show up on a legendary creature that is an alternate version of a Khan from Khans of Tarkir? Oh. Bolster, I don't think so. Dash, I do think so. Exploit, I don't remember that one. Or Rebound, oh, definitely not. It's got to be Dash or Exploit, and I'm pretty sure only one of the sets had Dash. So I'm going with Dash. But then again, I mean, it's not the set didn't have it. It says it doesn't show up on a legendary creature that is an alternate version of a Khan from Khans of Tarkir. So doesn't. And that was like a goblin thing? I don't know. I thought Dash was only in just one of the sets, period. So what do they even mean by an alternate version of a Khan from Khans of Tarkir? I mean, I know there's like time travel and crap. Well, I don't know. I mean, Dash, because it wasn't in the Khans of Tarkir. I think I'm overthinking this, so I'll stick with it. Number 27. Which legendary creature from Shadows over Innistrad block was inspired by art created during the concept push for the Return to Innistrad? Shadows over Innistrad was the Return to Innistrad. What are they talking about? Oh, I get it. So which legendary creature that ended up in Shadows over Innistrad was inspired by art that they made while they were pushing to return to Innistrad in the first place, thus creating Shadows? So in other words, which of these artworks is the earliest, is what they should have said. So we've got the Gitrog monster, aka Hypnotoad, Hanweir the Writhing Township. I mean, that's just so integral to the story. Ishkana Graph Widow, or Ormondal Profane Prince, which Ormondal was already in the older one. So if they're going to do a concept push of how it turned out, it would involve the Eldrazi, and the only one that involves the Eldrazi is the Hanweir Garrison, aka Writhing Township. So, I mean, what else would it be? Ooh, the plane has spiders. That's my push to go back there. Oh, the Gitrog monster, which could go literally on any plane anywhere. Oh, Ormondal, a character we already know. Ooh, big scary demon. It's pretty obvious it's B, Hanweir. It has to be. Next up, we've got 28. Which legendary creature from Kaladesh is aware of the multiverse? I read some of that story. Mostly gave that one a skip, but we've got Gonti, Lord of Luxury, which I think, Ovaya Pashri, Sage Lifecrafter, which, I remember hearing about this. Padim, Consul of Innovation, which he's pretty smart, but I would have said the other blue guy, actually. Or Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter. Oh, I could almost like picture the statement about like them being aware of seeing things past somewhere, but they also had almost the exact same thing in Pirate and Dinosaurville. I forgot the name. What is Ixalan? Gonti just runs a gang. I don't think so. He's like smarter than they let on, but whatever. And I mean, he's lived for a bit, but not that long. Ovaya's old as hell, but she just crafts life and uses the Aether. Padim, I mean, super smart, but you know, whatever. He's part of the console, so like if they knew other places existed, you know, but then maybe he does because he's part of the console, because I think they are aware of that. But then there's Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter, one of the absolute smartest people, elf druid. Elves live really long. Eternity's Crafter, I thought they said that she can pull energy from like another plane or something. Like she does a trick that only planeswalkers would do, but she can't planeswalk unless I'm mixing up stories again. So I'm going to go with Rashmi, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Padim. All right, 2 to go, and I bet I got 2 of them right. 29. Which legendary creature from Commander 2016 edition was first referenced in the flavor text of an artifact, but not by name? Oh my god. So we've got Ikra Shadiki, the Usurper, Kaineos and Tiro of Melitus. That could be, that seems equipment-y. Ludwig, Necro Alchemist. He was literally on a different card, so I don't think it could be him. And then Saskia the Unyielding. I mean, Ludwig did invent things, and we had Ludwig's test subject, but like the word Ludwig is on it. So I mean, it could be him, but I doubt it. I don't know. I'm never going to get this one. I'm going to go with Kainaios and Tiro, I guess, because like, you know, if they're heroes and they're wearing equipment in the card, it could have been on some equipment. And the final question before we find out how badly I massacred this quiz, it's which of the legendary creatures from Amonkhet did players joke that it should have been a 210 common? So 2 power 10 toughness. Huh. I feel like if anybody was joking about anything... Oh, 210, Tutankhamun. Got it. So we've got Hapatra, Vizier of Poisons. Nope. Naheb the Worthy. Nope. Samut, Voice of Dissent. Nope. Or Temet, Vizier of Naktuman, Naktamun, who's a human cleric who's dressed like a pharaoh. I mean, come on. He looks like Tutankhamun. He's dressed right. He has the right position. I've got to go with my boy Temet. Thanks, Mark, for probably letting me get one right. So, I'm not going to really go over the answers, but just for like an example, number 1, it says the 8 proper names of the characters in Alpha were Baron Sengir, nice, Chet Zook, okay, Gaia, from Gaia's Cradle, Mishra, Nevin Rael, Pashalik Mon, Sarah, and Urza, but Chadzuk and Gaia haven't been printed in Legendary yet. So the answer was 6, and I got it right. Now, if I had to reiterate every single question plus the answer and the explanation, this would be a 2-hour video. So I'm just going to score them all and tell you how I did, which so far I got one right. Suck it, haters. I will say, though, oh my god, it was Feldegriff. Are you kidding me? Number 8 was Vati Ildal. Really? Because Tempest's codename was Bogavati. What the hell, wizards? I got the Vanguard one right. It was Karn. And, great. It was Glissa. Fantastic. Okay, the answer to number 15 was Isamaru, Hound of Khanda. I have to read this. I was in a meeting where I was told that we couldn't make a vanilla legendary creature that would excite players. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. I designed Isamaru on the spot to prove them wrong. It then went into the set. So you just have to push the power level to an insane level. Oh, guys, look, I did it. How did I not guess that? I don't agree with number 16 either. Borborygmos is the word in English. Apparently, Borborygmos means a rumbling or gurgling sound caused by the movement of gas in the intestines. In other words, it's a medical term. In other words, it's Latin. So take that answer and shove it up your ass, Mark. Turns out Lorwyn had 8 tribes. Whoops. And it wasn't Drana, it was Ulamog. Oh, are you kidding me? Ulamog beat Drana by 2. It was 7 versus 5. I can't believe that. But it turns out there's only been 3 Omnaths. I guess I should have just counted the arms. Wait, mono green plus 1, mono green plus 2. How the hell do we have a 4th Omnath then if he's saying there was only 3? I could look it up, but I don't give enough of a shit. Okay, number 22 I'm disqualifying because the answer was Olivia Volderen. It won the rare poll with the name Count Dracula. You heavily implied that it ended up with the name that it had. If I don't understand the question because you're so shit at phrasing it, then I get a free point. I'm not actually going to count it, but I should. Damn it! Iroas and Mogus are the twins. They aren't even the same species. Apparently the answer wasn't Dash, it was Rebound. Yeah, kiss my ass. Somehow the answer to 27 was the Gitrog monster. That's what sold the set. A lizard that could literally, it was in a side story that had nothing to do with the lore of the plane, and you could drop that thing into any plane anywhere, and that pushed the set. The set where everything mutates. Well, I assume they meant the block, not the set. But then again, stuff started mutating in Shadows a little bit. There was some hints. But what sold the set and pushed the set is concept art for the Eldrazi mutating everything. That doesn't make any damn sense. He even says one of the artists drew the Gitrog monster during the concept push, and everyone just knew we were going to make a card out of it. Fantastic. What the hell does that have to do with anything on Innistrad or the Eldrazi invading? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What a shit question. I got the Theros question right, even though my reasoning was completely wrong. The artifact was statues of them. And it was Temet. So I got 9 correct, which unfortunately puts me in, well, let's just read the categories. If you got 1 to 9 correct, yeah, you, Mark. You should have probably phrased a couple of these better and I would have gotten them. You know what? I am giving myself that bonus point. So I got 9 right plus 1 charity point because that question was complete shit. So if you got 10 to 15 correct, that's me. You've obviously been paying some attention. That is exactly how I would describe myself. Some minimal amount of attention to the lore. If you got 16 to 20 correct, you're starting to show some Magic Trivia potential. 21 to 24, you've got Magic Trivia chops. 25 to 27 correct, very good, I'm impressed. 28 to 29, you have Mad Magic Trivia skills. And 30 correct, I bow down to you. And then in parentheses in invisible ink, it says, unless you're a white male. It's implied. You got to read between the lines, actually. And at the bottom, the biggest incorrect statement of this entire article, I hope you enjoyed the quiz. No, I am actually shocked that I got 9 right. That's pretty good. I think like 6 of them were guesses. I legitimately knew 3 of them pretty confidently. But that's pretty bad. But I mean, if all these were about just cards made in the last 7 years, I probably would have gotten half or more right. And I probably would have gotten very nearly 100% if he only selected questions from lore that I actually read. But I mean, that's, it's kind of obvious. So anyway, that was the Magic Quiz. Let me know how you did if you followed along. You'll probably have to, obviously go score it yourself, but it's on Daily MTG. It's, November 23rd. You can't miss it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next video.